Well guys, we have made it throughout the blockbuster season of 2025. Holy shit guys, we are already in September. This year has gone so fast for me. I feel like the more years that's passing by, it gets more faster. I do not know why. So, of course, the tradition, I've talked about my most anticipated movies of the summer movie season of 2024, or blockbuster season that I call in Australia. That's all done. Now let's get into the rest of 2025. These are the movies that I'm anticipating to wrap this year off in 2025. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, this year has been a pretty mixed year for me. I feel like there is a lot of bad that came out this year, but also there's a couple of good that came out this year. But yeah, there has been a lot of disappointments throughout this year, so hopefully these movies that I'm anticipating for throughout the rest of this year kind of ends this year off with a bang. Now this is my personal list guys. If you don't like any of these movies that I'm anticipating for throughout the rest of the year, do something about it. Let me know in the comments below and let me know your picks. I really want to know your picks of your anticipated movies throughout the rest of 2025. Or if you live in America, your anticipated movies of the fall of 2025. So let's get straight into it. These are the movies that I'm excited for throughout the rest of 2025 and hopefully these movies exceed my expectations. And of course, we got some honorable mentions to lay out and I actually have a lot of them, so let's get through it. A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. I love Colin Farrell. I love Margot Robbie. This movie looks very fascinating for me, so I'm interested to see where this movie goes. Him, The Bad Guys 2, yes, this movie is coming out in Australia later on. I know it came out in the US already, but I'm counting that in on my list. I really enjoyed the first one. The Good Fortune, Roofman, Kiss of a Spider-Woman, Keeper, Oz Perkins' new film. Please do better than Monkey because that movie really disappointed me. Sisu, Road to Revenge, that movie looks badass. Eternity, Anaconda. I'm really curious to see how Jack Black and Paul Rudd is going to do their chemistry in that film. Shelby Oaks, Chris Duckman's directorial debut. I'm looking forward to that because Chris Duckman was one of my inspirations that I do movie reviews right now. So I'm really excited to see how it goes with filmmaking. One Battle After Another, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and a movie that is so close to my top 10, literally so close, Black Phone 2. I know there are some movies that probably you get mad at on my honorable mentions. I'm looking forward to those films. I could do like a top 20 list. But of course, I have to nail down to 10. But these honorable mentions, I'm anticipating for. I'm really excited for those films. But of course, let's get into the main top 10. The top 10 movies that I'm looking forward to wrap this year off in 2025. So starting off with my number 10 is Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Now, when it comes to music biopics, you know, it's very mixed, but most of them have been pretty good in my personal opinion. And after A Complete Unknown, I am totally open to more music biopics coming out. So of course we got one about Bruce Springsteen. Now I'm not too familiar about Bruce Springsteen. I know I heard a couple of his songs. Some of his songs are very familiar. Yeah, I know, a lot of people are going to say, what? You never heard of Bruce Springsteen? I'm sorry, I just never familiar with him. I know some of his songs, but I never know him. So I like seeing biopics about artists that I never even heard of. But the biggest reason why I'm anticipating for this film is Jeremy Allen White. I feel like he's going to completely nail it in this film. This movie could possibly get him an Oscar treatment. But just from the trailer itself, it definitely looks like a very unique music biopic that is coming out. And from all the great reviews this movie has been receiving early, I'm more interested to see how this film's going to turn out. Coming to my number 9 is Wake Up Dead Man and Knives Out Mystery. Of course, I gotta put this movie on my list because I am a fan of the Knives Out movies. Knives Out is definitely a huge surprise that came out that year. And of course, Glass Onion is fantastic. Where in the fuck is the physical media release for that film? I want that film in 4K for sure. Where the hell is it? Seriously, Netflix? Stream this on physical media, like, please do. But of course, we have the third installment in this series, and Rian Johnson, of course, is directing. Daniel Craig is returning with some new people on board with Glenn Close, Mila Kunis. There's so many big actors that are going to be in this film. I cannot wait to see another Knives Out mystery. I think Rian Johnson does a great job of directing these types of mysteries. I think he does a great job with the first movie, and the second one he did a lot better. I'm hoping this movie comes out in theaters. Please freaking do, because I saw Glass Onion in theaters and I'm so angry that it released on Netflix. It should have came out in theaters, literally. So hopefully this movie comes in select theaters in Australia so I can see it. If not, I'm fine with watching on Netflix because I cannot wait to see another mystery from Rian Johnson. But I just prefer in movie theaters, like seriously. But I cannot wait to see Rian Johnson once again do another mystery with Daniel Craig once again. It's going to be a very interesting one. Coming to my number 8 is the long Walk. Now, this might not be on everyone's anticipated list, but I heard so much great reviews this movie has been receiving, that's one of them, but also, I really like this concept. I really do think this concept is very interesting. This is a new Stephen King adaptation that's coming out that's directed by Francis Lawrence, who have directed the Hunger Games franchise. It's about literally these people doing a competition where they just keep walking, and whoever is the last person walking wins. If not, the ones that have stopped walking basically gets killed. And I just like this concept. It's very, very interesting, and the trailer made this film look so freaking intense. But I'm hearing so much great things when it comes to this film, so I'm going to put this film on my anticipated list because for all the great reviews this movie's been receiving, I just had to put this movie on my list because it gets me more excited to see what I think of this movie. I am seeing this movie next week, which I'm very looking forward to it. You know, it's something that you're very curious what's going to happen throughout the film and how it's going to end. So, of course, The Long Walk, I gotta put this on my list. It looks very intense, it looks very interesting, and hopefully this is the best Stephen King adaptation we've received in a very long time. Coming into my number 7 is Tron Ares. Now, when it comes to the Tron franchise, I thought the first movie, you know, it took me a little while to get going with the first movie because, of course, the computer-generated effects, you know, it's the first live-action computer-generated film. So, you know, it's something to get used to when it holds up, but I'll definitely rewatch that film again leading up to this film. But I love Tron Legacy. I remember watching that movie as a kid. I thought it was one of the coolest movies that I have ever seen. So it took us a long time to get the third Tron movie in place, and now we have finally get it with Tron Ares. I really do like this concept of the Tron world coming into the human world. It looks very interesting. This film looks very red. That's what I like about it. It looks red. I'll probably wear red when it comes to the review for the movie because it's just one color this movie looks like it's going to present. But of course the visual effects look absolutely stunning. Already booked the tickets to see this movie in IMAX 3D because this movie could look fantastic in 3D. And the cast is amazing. Evan Peters is going to be in this film. Greta Lee is going to be in this film. And of course Jared Leto. I know Jared Leto has gone through a lot of big shit right now and a lot of people are controversial about him, but I still love Jared Leto as an actor. I cannot wait to see him in this film. But of course, we've been waiting for a Tron 3 for such a long time. Now we are finally getting it this year. Hopefully this movie is at least fun. I'm not expecting anything perfect when it comes to this movie, but this movie just looks like a visual fun time. And of course, Nine Inch Nails is doing the score of this movie. Fuck yes. Coming to my number 6 is Zootopia 2. Now, I wasn't planning on putting this movie on my list, to be completely honest with you, because I'm nervous about Disney right now. I'm nervous about Disney animation when it comes to it right now because, you know, Moana 2 last year really disappointed me. It's my most anticipated anime for throughout the rest of that year. So I am praying that Zootopia 2 is not like that. But I gotta say, when it comes to the trailers of this film, I just cannot help getting excited to go back into the world of Zootopia once again. Cannot wait to see Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps back together in this film. Cannot wait to see how the chemistry comes upon. And the trailer doesn't really reveal what the actual plot of the movie is going to be about, which I'm very on board with that. I'm really curious to see what this movie is going to be about. And Ke Huy Quan is in this film, and he's always a big win for me. But the animation looks absolutely stunning in this film. But I just want this film to be another great Disney film. We need great Disney animated films again. And I know we're getting some new ones coming out right now, which sounds very exciting. But, I don't know, there's something about Disney that I felt like it's not the same as it was. And I'm praying that Zootopia 2 brings that back. And also, we haven't got a great Disney sequel. Basically, we haven't. So hopefully Zootopia 2 is like, yes, this is the Disney sequel that we deserve to have. So of course Zootopia 2 is my most anticipated anime film throughout the rest of the year. Please do not disappoint. So we are in the top 5, guys. These are the 5 movies that I'm definitely most looking forward to throughout the rest of this year. Coming to my number 5 is The Smashing Machine. I love what this movie is coming upon. I love boxing movies. I love A24. And Dwayne Johnson tackling on a serious role that could possibly change his acting career. I'm really curious to see how it goes. I feel like this could be the movie that can give Dwayne Johnson the Oscar treatment. He looks like he's completely going to nail it in this film. I know nothing about this UFC legend boxer. I know nothing about this guy. So, like I said with Springsteen, I'm really looking forward to see a biopic about a guy I never heard of. I want to see where the story comes upon. Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, this movie has a fantastic casting. This movie looks like it's going to be an emotional wreck. Of course, one of the directors directed Uncut Gems, which I really do love. And anything by A24, I always am interested in, because A24 is like the answer of like, we need originality in movies. A24 mostly gave us that. So of course with the Smashing Machine, cannot wait to see how it goes, love sport biopics, and cannot wait to see Dwayne Johnson in this type of role. He's definitely going to nail it in this film. Coming into my number 4 is The Running Man. Yes, this movie really surprised me. I didn't know what to think before the trailer came out for The Running Man, but the trailers, holy shit, this movie looks like a lot of freaking fun. But also, Edgar Wright is directing this film. How could you not put this movie high on your list? Edgar Wright is definitely one of my favorite directors. He directed Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, one of my favorite movies. Baby Driver, of course the Cornetto trilogy from Shaun the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and A World's End. He is such a fantastic director. And him tackling on this Arnold Schwarzenegger remake, I'm on board with that. And I love Glenn Powell. And he looks like he's just going to have so much fun being in this movie. And that's why I want this movie to be just a fun action ride. But of course the direction that Edgar Wright is tackling on with this film with a modern take of this Arnold Schwarzenegger story, I feel like it's one of those movies that I feel like it deserves a remake because this concept is very freaking interesting. So of course Edgar Wright, let's hope you nail it once again because I love this director, and also Glenn Powell, hopefully you steal the show because you look like you're definitely going to. Coming into my number 3 is Avatar Fire and Ash. Yes, I'm putting this movie in my number 3 because there are 2 movies that I'm actually more looking forward to than Avatar. But of course, coming back into the world of Pandora, I'm always going to anticipate for it because I don't give a fuck what people say about the first Avatar. I don't give a fuck that people say it's overrated. I didn't think so. I love the first Avatar. I love it so much, still to this day, and The Way of Water was a massive achievement than the first one. I thought The Way of Water is an excellent film. So of course, James Cameron coming back to the world of Pandora, it's going to be interesting. This new clan, this Fire Clan, are going to be basically villains in the film. That's going to be interesting. I don't want it to keep repeating with humans being the villains. I love to see a Na'vi being the villains this time. It makes me more interested how this movie is going to turn out. This movie definitely looks more emotional, more intense than the first 2 movies, especially when it comes to Jake and Neytiri's arc in the film. It looks very, very struggling throughout the film. But also after the results with Natame's death, how that's going to turn out, and of course Sigourney Weaver's character, how her character is going to come along. This movie gave me so many questions and got me very curious how this is going to come upon. This is definitely my most anticipated IMAX movie that I'm seeing this year because seeing this movie once again in IMAX 3D, like The Way of Water, it's going to be a great experience. But of course, please James Cameron, just do a great job with this film once again because we need a great trilogy at this point. I know we having more Avatar films at this point, but I want this to be a great third installment in this series. But of course, I have to be inside for Avatar because I'm a fan of the first 2 movies. It's going to be on my list somewhere, and that is on my number 3. Coming into my number 2 is Predator Badlands. Now, Dan Trachtenberg, I felt like he brought the franchise back when it comes to Prey. I love the Predator franchise. The first Predator, of course, is a classic, and I'm thinking about reviewing the Predator movies leading up to this film because it's freaking Predator, man. But I feel like Dan Trachtenberg, when it comes to Prey, that movie really surprised me. I wasn't expecting the movie to be as great as it is. It is great, and of course, Dan Trachtenberg is doing 2 Predator movies this year, and he already released one, Killer of Killers, which I love. I think it's a very underrated film that came out this year. So, he did Predator movies great 2 times in a row. So hopefully we have the further charm here with Predator Badlands. This movie looks freaking badass. I love that this movie is trying to tackle on Predator being the protagonist. I thought it's a very interesting aspect. And Ali Fetting playing this robot in the film that Predator is tagging along with, that's going to be very interesting. But it's just a different concept, you know, Predator being kind of the good guy in this situation. That's going to be very interesting. The visuals look absolutely stunning throughout the film, throughout the practical effects. And the CGI and the action looks freaking badass. Definitely this movie I'm seeing in IMAX. That is for sure. But Dan Trachtenberg, that's why I'm excited for him. Because he does a great direction with Prey and great animation with Killer of Killers. So of course when it comes to this film, I'm hoping that this is the third time's a charm with the Predator films. And if it is, I think Dan Trachtenberg should keep directing Predator movies because he just knows how to handle it. But it's not my number 1, guys. My number 1, I think you guys guessed what my number 1 is going to be. I'm a huge fan of the first movie that came out last year. It is my favorite movie that came out that year. I feel like it made the musical much more memorable, much more special than it actually is. So we have seen Act 1 that came out last year. Now we are getting Act 2 this year, and hopefully it's in the same perspective of the first film. Of course, you've guessed it, my number 1 is Wicked for Good. Of course, You guys probably guessed that from the very beginning. I love the first Wicked. It's probably one of my favorite musicals that came out in such a long time. It is so well directed. Donna M. Chu does a great job with that film, and Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, they completely crushed it in the first film. So of course we are getting Act 2 of Wicked coming on the big screen, and coming from the guy that knows the play, I cannot wait to see how the scenes turn out in this film. But also, we might get some different aspects like the first Wicked does, and I feel like the different aspects really work in the first Wicked movie, so hopefully they bring that in this film, and we might get some new songs in the film. Cynthia Erivo says one of the songs that is new in the film is definitely going to get you into tears, so I cannot wait to see the new songs in the film, but hopefully this movie goes into the same perspective as the original film, being a great musical. I don't want each of them to be better than the other. I want to be like in between. Both great movies in this one story. But of course, cannot wait to see Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo back as Glinda and Elphaba. Cannot wait to see Michelle Yeoh back, Jeff Goldblum back, Jonathan Bailey back. Like, just great casting coming back in this sequel. This is definitely going to be the biggest movie that is coming out throughout the rest of the year. I'm already on board getting these tickets to see in IMAX because I saw the first Wicked in IMAX. It was incredible. So of course, seeing it once again in IMAX, it's just a real treat. So hopefully Wicked for Good, or it could be called Wicked Part 2. Hopefully it surpasses the original in every step of the way, because the first movie is definitely something special. Now we are getting this film. Oh my god, I cannot wait to see what Jon Chu does with Act 2 of the Wicked musical. So guys, those are my anticipated movies throughout the rest of 2025. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below, what are your anticipated movies throughout the rest of this year? And hopefully the movies that I put in this list exceeded my expectations in every step of the way and ends 2025 off with a bang. So guys, make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notify for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.